Good morning, guys. Yesterday, I took my 2025 Chevy Silverado EV, loaded it to capacity, and then proceeded to drive 715 kilometers on a single charge. We made some mistakes. We made an adventure. You can see where I went wrong, but it blew me away how far I actually went on a single charge. And we're not talking back roads 40, 50 kilometers an hour driving. A good portion of this trip, over 2 hours, was 70 miles an hour or 110 kilometers. And I couldn't believe how far we went. My wife did make me pull over and add some charge to the car. We didn't need it. We would have made it home. I mean, if you're not arriving home with less than 5% in your EV, you're not pushing it enough. I think I've made a mistake, guys. I just realized I could have bought this brand new Corvette cheaper than my truck. Now that was an expensive hat. So the guys at True North did an excellent job of taking care of me, giving me some swag and a hat, and getting me all set up with the OnStar and all the paperwork, the warranty stuff. So a big shout out to those guys. They made it really easy. They showed me all the features of the truck, went over how to, pair the phone, and you have to log into your Google account, your Alexa account. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of digital requirements for these new electric vehicles. And they didn't forget Gage. We've got something for Gage here too that they gave me. Look at that. You're now a Chevy dog. So we're always forgetting to bring a leash with us. I'm gonna leave that right in the truck for Mr. Gage. He even hooked me up with a couple of keychains and a set of golf balls that they were pranking me with. They opened the golf balls and they set them loose in the console up there. So as I drove away, the balls were rolling around and I was like, what the hell is that? I bet you Carrie gets out of her car and just goes in the house. She's not going to sit in it and just hang out. We're buddies. Mazda needs to be in the garage. Not the Chevy. All right, today's the big day. I got to fill the back of this truck. Then we're going to drive 330 kilometers one way to take my daughter back down to school. My wife and Hannah are going to unload the back of the truck, start setting up furniture and putting things together, while I continue across town to the Superchargers. I did get my Tesla adapter. I'm going to charge the truck back up to 80%, come back, help them finish setting up, load back up, and come home. How am I feeling about this? I'm feeling apprehension. That is probably the best term. It's fear of the unknown. How is this going to work with the charger? How far are we going to make it? To mitigate that, I'm going to set up, I already have the route plugged into the truck, but I don't actually have it set to save a charger. Can I do that? I don't know. I don't know how any of that works. That's a problem. Okay, I feel a little bit better now. So we've got 3 hours, 36 minutes, 319 kilometers, and we're going to have 50% battery when we get there, because now the truck is fully charged. I've only been driving the new truck for 180 kilometers, something like that, but it's already adjusting and knows that I get more range. And this makes me feel a little better. Check this out. It's changed its gasometer from 670, which is what it was reading the first 2 days that I had it when it was fully charged. Now this morning, it's saying that we're going to go 694 kilometers on a full charge. He's starting to learn my habits. Okay, so nothing left to do but do it. Load up the truck and go. Let's do this. So we bought a truck, which has a nice big bed in the back of it, but my wife says, it's gonna rain. So now she's packing all the bins inside the truck. I don't get the... Okay, well, it's a 60-40 split seat. We've loaded up a ton of stuff in here. And I'll show you, there's still room on the other side. Like, the bed's still empty. And then we've still got full seat here. Well, that's actually pretty handy. Okay, so we did have enough stuff to fill the bed of the truck. There's actually furniture in there, which is pretty heavy. But I watched a video and the guy proved that weight doesn't matter. He loaded the back of the truck past capacity, 1,600 pounds, and he got the same mileage. So weight doesn't matter. It's towing. Aerodynamics, which is why I didn't want to bring the trailer. And we did it. That's everything. It's loaded. I just have to strap down the load. We're out of here. And actually, the tailgate folding down like this is awesome because I couldn't put it up all the way. Once I had everything strapped in there, the cooler is in the wrong place. I forgot we have a frunk that has a plug-in. We could have put the plug-in cooler in the front for easy access. We didn't do that. Now I understand why, as an adult. My dad and my grandpa would always say, let me do it. Because it's got to be done just right. It's like a puzzle. You got to fit everything in there. If it's not done just right, man, I did it and it's just right. The gasometer's changed as I jump in the truck to leave. Showing a guess of 701 kilometers. Fantastic. Okay, so we've only come 42 kilometers, but it's saying we've used 75 kilometers of distance. I think it's because that tailgate is sticking up in the up position. I put it up just in case the mattress were to slide backwards, and I think it's acting like a sail. So I'm going to put it down and we'll see what happens here. We've got 2.8 kilometers per kilowatt is what we're getting right now. I don't like that. I'm going to fix it. Let's see if this makes a difference. No eating in the new truck. Okay, so we went another 77.8 kilometers since I put the tailgate down, and our efficiency went up to 3.2. So we gained half a kilometer per kilowatt hour by fixing that tailgate situation. So, learning curve, right? Don't put the tailgate up to stop stuff from coming out because it's not worth it in terms of energy that you're going to lose. I'd rather lose the mattress. Secondly, we're going to move to a secondary highway here and we're going to do 90 kilometers an hour for the next 150 kilometers. Instead of being out on the main 4-lane highway doing 110, this we'll be able to do 90 and just enjoy the scenery. We'll go a little slower. We'll save a little more kilometers. I have range anxiety. Even though I still have 523 kilometers left, I just can't shake that. I don't like, it's there, it's bugging me. Lots of kilometers left in the tank down there, but we're still gonna take the secondary highway. What are you doing? I said no eating in the new truck. I'm gonna pull over here and you're eating too. 200 kilometers into the trip and I haven't had to touch the steering wheel yet. I like Super Cruise. Okay, we're stopped for construction, so I was looking at the energy, and look, I did find it. That's how much we're using for the fans, the air conditioning, and Hannah's got her heated seat on. We're losing 4%. Hannah, turn the heated seat off.
It's off.
Okay, so 118 kilometers on the secondary highway, doing between 80 and 90 kilometers an hour, and look at the efficiency. We're up to 3.7. Since the last stop, we did 172 kilometers and we averaged 4.1 kilometers per kilowatt hour. So we've made it. We are parked out in front of Hannah's new place, and the gasometer is showing 375 kilometers. So I'm super impressed because we already drove 330 kilometers. If you add that to what it's saying we have left, that's 705 kilometers. So even with the mistake of leaving the tailgate up like a sail, where we averaged 2.7 kilometers per kilowatt hour, which is terrible, we made up for that over time. And at the halfway point in our trip, it's still saying we're going to get 700 kilometers, or just slightly better than. I'm super impressed. I could push it and try to get home with 375 kilometers, meaning we would have 40 kilometers left, but the wife won't let me do that, and we probably should charge it, seeing as this is our first time with the electric truck, and I don't really want to piss her off by getting stranded on the side of the road, so we're going to stop somewhere and charge. Who wants to do it? We could push on through. We'd get home with 5% battery. Fine, we'll stop at the Supercharger, but I think we could make it home. Woo! Oh snap! Listen to that baby hum. So I'm finding that the Chevy app is kind of a little bit slow. every time I start it, it thinks I'm in the last place I was when I ran it. So it was saying that I was still in Peterborough, which we were there 2 hours ago. So I had to shut the app off, restart it, then it knew where I was, and then I could pick the correct charger. So you just look at the bottom, it tells you which one you're at, start charging. My new adapter that I'm using, the LH that I got on Amazon, it seems to be working awesome. It's working. The green light is on. So it is charging. We can jump in the truck and see how fast it's charging. This is a 250 kilowatt charger. That's the adapter there. It feels very well made, very heavy duty, and it's working. Okay, so we're gaining 529 kilometers an hour right now. Look at how fast. 303 kilometers. 304 kilometers. That's crazy. So I'm not even going to bother charging this up to 80%. I'm only going to go to like 60, and then we can make it home on that for sure, because we could already make it home with what we had. So I'm just going to do a little bit, just enough to calm the wife so that she's not worried about it. Then we're going to get home. Why spend more money than I have to, right? This was just a test to see if that adapter worked, and proof of concept that, yeah, we can super fast charge. This is perfect. They walk down to the Tim Hortons, they're getting a coffee, whatever. I'll sit here for 15 minutes and we'll be back on the road. Okay, so the summary, 15 minutes of charging, we added 17% battery, and it cost me 23 bucks. So there you go, it was that simple, and that pretty much erases the rest of the fears that I had. It doesn't get any simpler or faster, really. Just wanted to point out a cool feature that the last 130 kilometers home, we're on the highway, we're doing 110, and yet my gasometer down in the bottom left corner showing how much percentage I'm going to have battery wise when I get home is still showing 22%. So it must take into consideration, when it does its calculation, the speeds that you're going to be traveling, the highways that you're going to be on, because it hasn't changed. And I just thought that's pretty cool that takes that into consideration, because the hour before this we were on a secondary highway driving 90, and I'm following the route it gave me, and it must have known that the last hour we would be doing a lot more speed, and yet it hasn't changed. So pretty cool. The last test I want to do on this road trip is 110 kilometers an hour for the last 100 kilometers, and we'll just get a number over here showing our kilowatt hours usage, and I want to compare that to when we get our tonneau cover. So this is open bed back there, so this should be worst case scenario. Okay, there's 85 kilometers at 110 on the highway. And if we look down there, we see 3.1 kilometers per kilowatt hour. So once we put the tonneau cover on here, is that going to improve? I would think so. All right, look at that. We made it home, and we're actually at an even higher battery percent rate than it was telling me we were going to get. We're at 24% battery. Okay, that was a 14-hour day, but we're not done, because I got home and the new charge point charger was here. So we're just going to unhook the Vivor, which is a 32 amp, and we're going to plug in this one, which is a 50 amp, and we're going to use it to charge up the new truck. When I get all the outside renovations done, we're going to have the 32 and the 50 both hooked up, but for now I can only have one, so it's going to be the 50. I have a 60 amp fuse in here that it's running off of, so the 50 will work. Actually, on second thought, that's not going to happen, because I have to hardwire in the cable for it. So this is a heavy duty unit. So for now, we'll just leave that in the box. We'll continue to use the 32. And when I do get that hooked up, I will report on charging speeds with it though. So we know the truck's at 24%. I'll plug it in with the 32 amp and I'll show you how long it's going to take to get to 80. It's not that bad. Okay, wait a minute. Maybe it is. I take that back. It's saying that the truck will be ready by 1:30 p.m. Thursday. That's tomorrow afternoon, 1:30. It's 10 o'clock at night right now. So, 12, 13, 14 hours, something like that. 15 hours. Okay, so it's kind of bad, which is why I bought the 50. Well, it's no Tesla supercharger, that's for sure.